Check it.
What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today we are back talking about something a bit different. So I was watching another YouTuber's video called Jazz, and he was talking about racing games in 2016. If you want to go ahead and watch his version of this video, check the description out down below. But it got me thinking, really, what games are coming out in 2016? There's only really like 2 or 3 obvious ones which I'm really interested in. And then, you know, once you take those out, there's really not that many. So we're going to go ahead and talk about what, you know, racing games have for us in 2016 in terms of expansions, new games, and, you know, just new, fresh content, basically. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get straight into today's video. So the most obvious release of this year will be Horizon 3. I think in terms of actual new releases, this is probably going to be the biggest new release of a racing game this year. Can't think of much off the top of my head which is completely new, which is coming to a platform, you know, that builds as much hype as Horizon 3. You know, Horizon 3, it's pretty obvious it's coming. Forza and, well, Forza Motorsport and Forza Horizon, they're on a bi-yearly cycle. It just makes 100% sense for it to come out this year. So Horizon 3 is the biggest one, and I've made many videos expressing my opinion on that. All they've really got to do is listen to the fans. If they do, they'll have an awesome game. That's really all there is to it. Aside from that, there's Trackmania Turbo, which is coming out like next week, and I seem to be the only one hyped for that game. Dirt Rally's coming to consoles, but it's already out on PC, so I don't know if you can really count that. And there's literally nothing else in terms of actual new releases. Now, it's also very likely we're going to get a big few expansions. It's very likely that The Crew will drop an expansion. It's very likely that Need for Speed are going to drop an expansion, and maybe even Drive Club. Who knows? You know, it depends. But really, it's looking pretty sparse. Now, if we kind of stray away from that, you know, Gran Turismo is obviously coming out. I'm probably going to make a few videos on that, but my real big question about this year is, how are we going to cope with such few racing games coming out? So, Gran Turismo, I'm sure it's going to be good. I'm sure it'll be, you know, amazing like a normal Gran Turismo game is. I usually play Gran Turismo for about 3 to 4 months and then get bored. So, if Gran Turismo Sport is literally just like 6 on PS4, that's probably what's going to happen. If there's something new, it might last a bit longer. If there isn't, then it might, you know, be a bit shorter. Who knows? But really, that's kind of how I play my Gran Turismo games. As for Forza, if Horizon 3 is a copy and paste of Horizon 2, I will probably apply the same logic. I'll probably play it for a few months, get bored, and go on to something different. You know, that's just how it works. And then, obviously, with Trackmania Turbo, it's not really a game that you play 24/7. It's more of a casual game which you just pick up and play and just have a loads of fun and put down. And at least that's how I play my Trackmania games. You know, Need for Speed, if that was to drop an expansion, I can see myself putting loads of time into it. As much as I love Need for Speed, as much as I can play it, you know, can I really sit through a whole year? I don't know. It depends on the updates really that they bring out and how they bring out the updates. I'm assuming that Ghost know what they're doing and they're holding their own, so I'm gonna put faith in Ghost, unlike Turn 10 and Playground Games, and say that they do know what they're doing, and I can see myself playing Need for Speed for a while, just because of how the updates are based. There's only really a few things here and there which they need to fix and add, and pretty obvious plain stuff. So I've got faith that Need for Speed will last this year. But besides that, really, there's I don't know. I mean, The Crew, I don't know if I can see myself playing that like in 6 months. It's getting really stale, and I'm not sure if I'm the only one that thinks that. I mean, if they can really make The Crew last for another year through expansions and through kind of this living game world, that would be insane. But I think it's very likely that we might see a Crew 2 reveal at E3. And that leads me on to the next topic of E3, you know, is there going to be something ridiculous announced at E3? Are we going to get another Midnight Club game and all that kind of stuff? Now, Midnight Club last year would have been a very valid thing to think about. You know, Rockstar were making a new game, we didn't know what it was the same guys that made Midnight Club and Red Dead, so it could have been either of those titles. It seems like it's leaning more towards Red Dead Redemption on Rockstar's site. According to GTA Wise Guy, they actually don't have any vehicle designers. It's mainly leaning towards, you know, designs that would be more catered to a Red Dead style of game. So it's very likely that we might see a Red Dead, but not a Midnight Club game. As for a Crew 2, that's very likely we might see a reveal, but I don't think we're going to see any gameplay or anything of that sort. Then in terms of this Burnout spiritual successor, I don't think we're gonna see anything about that until next year. We might see a teaser or something across those lines at E3, but that's really as much as I think we're gonna get, you know, unless there is some real surprise, you know, announcements at E3, but, you know, bar Horizon 3 and the ones I just mentioned. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to last, especially for YouTubers who are covering the content. It's going to be really, really hard to last in the next year. It's going to be a real case of survival of the fittest. You know, the people who kind of get bored and go through the struggle and be like, oh, I can't do this, they'll quit. And then the people who, you know, are really persevering, they'll carry on. But it's going to be really interesting. It's going to be really interesting to see how this goes. Can we live off Horizon 3, Need for Speed, and The Crew for the next year? Because those are really the big 3 games that I will be playing. You know, obviously Dirt Rally, I'll play that on the side. I'll play Gran Turismo, I'll play Trackmania Turbo. But I'm an arcade gamer at heart. That's just who I am. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see if any of those games that I mentioned, you know, Trackmania, Dirt Rally, Gran Turismo, either just steal my heart and, you know, absolutely go ham with their games. That's option 1. Or the games I mentioned, Need for Speed, The Crew, and Horizon 3, just really hold their own. If they really hold their own and somehow last for another year, that would be insane. But anyway, I think I've pretty much talked about everything I want to talk about. What do you guys think of racing games in 2016? Can you see yourself getting bored? Can you see yourself, you know, really enjoying Horizon 3 or any of the other games I mentioned? If you do think so, make sure to go ahead and leave a comment down below and let me know your opinion, and we will see you in the next one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the like, subscribe. I will see you guys in the next one. You guys have been awesome. Stay safe and peace.